Hello, welcome to Yoga Vinyasa Flow. Today's affirmation kind of themes like that as we go along is about inner strength and power. So I will give you a question to ponder. I will give you other affirmations to ponder and repeat to yourself. And I hope that you will find them impactful for you. Our peak pose today is going to be belly down rocker, where we're on our bellies, we reach for the feet and we rock. If you can't do that, I will have an option for you, so no worries. We'll also get into some half moon, revolved half moon, and those kinds of fun things as well. So that being said, just a little bit before we get started, I am doing a campaign fundraiser. It's our annual campaign for the YMCA, where I also teach in-person classes. And I will give you a link to donate to that in the YouTube show notes that you can click on and donate. Once you do that, what I would like for you to do is to click on the Whitaker YMCA. So all the money that you donate there will go directly to the YMCA that I teach at. All of the money goes to scholarships. So people that need help with membership fees, program fees, like swim lessons, youth sport, Pilates reformer program, all of those things is where it goes. It's not admin. It doesn't go to salaries. I don't get a raise, but I am trying to raise $1,000. I am $200 away from that goal. My birthday is Saturday, April 1st, and I would love it if you would help me reach that goal for my birthday. If you like the way I teach, like what I'm doing here, you have the YMCA to thank for that, because it was a Y instructor for yoga and Pilates that encouraged me to go through training and become an instructor. So that being said, appreciate your support. Let's get started. So finding a nice, comfortable seat here. We will use blocks today. You do not need a strap, but I have my seat cushion and knee cushion here. Finding that nice tall seat, ears, shoulders, and hips. Let's zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Maybe a slight tuck in the chin. And we'll breathe. Breathe and expand that rib cage. And slowly release. You can incorporate that Ujjayi pranayama in here as well. That back of the throat constriction on an inhale, exhale, or both. Taking a few rounds. Good. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Good. Let's take a nice side bend to the left, keeping sits bones rooted, reaching, reaching, reaching. I'm breathing and expanding. And then you choose here, does this work for you? If it doesn't, you can always come out. You can also go deeper. You still want the sits bones to be grounded. You can choose to open up towards the ceiling, looking behind you, or you can take a C curve roll. So my belly button is scooping in here. I'm taking my forehead in the direction of this knee. I'm reaching this arm long. I'm breathing and expanding. Good. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, move through center. Take that right over into the other side. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Breathing and expanding. So the first affirmation question I'll give you is, what is the source of your inner strength and power? What is your source of your inner strength and power? You can stay here, side bend deeper, opening up, or finding that C curve roll. What do you reach for deep within when something comes up? What is that strength that gets you through it? Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming back up, and we'll reach and rotate to the left. Reach those arms long in front of you as you bring them down. Rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathe and expand. Expand that rib cage. Be careful not to crank through the low back. Inhale to lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, taking that right over to the right. rolling shoulders back, breathing and expanding, relaxing your shoulders here. This one, outside one, sometimes likes to lift. Try not to let it do that. Inhale to lift, exhale, coming back to heart center. Good. Get a little movement here. So I'm just going to get a little bit of a spinal roll and maybe getting my shoulders into it a little bit here. My belly button is still in to protect the spine. Let's take that in the opposite direction. Good. This requires a little bit of coordination here too if you're moving your shoulders with the spine, especially when you go in the opposite direction. Good. And then from here, let's just roll the wrist a little bit and other direction. Good. Let's take a thumb. So this is my left hand. I'm going to take my left thumb into the fist. Good. And I'm just going to kind of pull that in here a little bit. Same thing on the other side. And notice how you get a little stretch right through here. Good. And then from here, maybe pressing down. Good. Taking left hand forward. Maybe just a little bit of pressure there. And on the other side. Good. From here, we're going to make our way to a tabletop position on all fours. So if you need to bring in a knee cushion or even a wrist cushion, not all wrists like this hyperextension here. So you can always lift them up a little bit. It forces a little bit more weight into the back body when you do that. So I'm going to bring in my knee cushion here. Good. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. My knees are about hip width apart. You can take them slightly wider if you've got a cranky back issue here today. Tops of the feet are going to come down, and my belly button is in. I'm rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Inhale, I'm going to take that chest forward as I tip my pelvis back, looking forward. It's cow pose. Exhale, I'm really going to press into that mat as I round. Taking my gaze towards my thighs, mad cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now from here, we're just going to do some hip circles. So I'm just going to just take some little circles here on one direction and then the other. Careful not to go too far past the wrist. Let's reverse. So my belly button is still in here. And we're just loosening things up. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. And I'm just going to move my blocks a little bit out of the way here. Taking arms forward. If your shoulders don't like this, you can take your hands back by the ankles and letting shoulders relax. You choose how you need to do it. I'm zipping up from the pubic bone behind the navel. I'm breathing and expanding. Your forehead can also come to a block if you can't come all the way to the floor. My arms are stretched long, so I'm going to walk my fingertips just a little bit more forward. Breathe and expand. Now, you can always come to this pose at any point during this practice if you need a break. Down dog is always an option for you as well, or standing quietly or sitting quietly, depending on what we're doing. And then from here, we're going to change. So I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders, and I'm going to press up just a little bit here. I'm going to walk my hands over towards my right. As I come over towards my right, I'm going to walk my left fingertips forward. Good. I'm going to lift my hips slightly. I'm going to press into my right hand, and I'm going to sink my hips towards my left. How deep you come in here depends on your own body. Some days I can take both elbows down, others I cannot. And then when you're ready, we'll come up, walk those hands back center, take a half a child pose or a full child pose here to kind of reset the spine a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll take that to the other side. So now I'm going to walk my hands over to the left. I'm going to walk my right hand forward. I'm going to lift the hips, pressing into the left hand, sink the hips towards the right. Breathe and expand. And we'll lift and we'll come back to center. Good. From here, when you're ready, we'll come back to tabletop position. Good. Get any other little movement while we're here that would feel good to you. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog. So if you're taller, maybe take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. If you're shorter, you can stay where you are. Now I'm still going to root through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb, pressing in and forward into the mat, even though my hands won't move. Tucking the toes. I'm going to shift back a little bit here. Belly button is in, and I'm going to lift my knees and shift my hips back. Good. Now, I'm still rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. My shoulders are back in the pockets. My head and neck are free. I'm looking down at my feet. Hips, knees, toes, ankles are tracking in that alignment. I'm pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. I'm going to take the eyes of the elbows here, and I'm going to turn them a little bit more towards my pointer fingers. So I get a little bit more scapular engagement in my upper body. So I'm feeling this now around the armpit muscles, upper rib cage. That's what you want to feel when you're in down dog, and planks for that matter. So from here, good. You can stay in stillness. You can bend and lengthen the knees. You can walk your dog. If you're walking the dog, try to keep the hips even. You can lift the heels and lower the heels. Find what works for you. Breathe. And then from here, when you're ready, from your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk your hands towards your feet, get into all four corners of the feet, keep the knees bent. From here, I'm going to lift and lengthen halfway. Fingers can come to the floor, they can come to the shins or the thighs, but we want a long spine here. And then exhale and bend. Always keep a little bend in your knees on these standing forward fold work here if you've got tight hamstrings or a back issue. Good. And again, I'm going to inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. From here, root through the feet, engage the glutes, long spine as you lift all the way up. Remember, legs take the load, lifting up, exhale, hands to heart center. Good. First affirmation, I have survived every negative experience in my lifetime so far. I have survived every negative experience in my lifetime so far. Big inhale and reach. Exhale and lengthen. Try to keep the hips over the ankles as much as possible. Coming down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll fold. Walking those hands forward, finding your down dog. Now find your good down dog form. Good. From here, I'm going to step my feet back just a little bit here. And we're going to come into some down dog plank combo here. And we're going to do it through a roll. So I'm going to start from my feet. So I'm going to lift my heels. I'm thinking about a tight sensation here. So as my hips come up, I'm going to keep that roll as I come forward, rolling into my plank. Knees can also come down here. From the top, I'm going to press. I'm going to tuck. I'm going to lift. And I'm going to roll it back. You can adjust where your feet are as needed. And we'll do that one more time. Lifting up, rolling, coming back forward, and pressing, rolling, coming back down dog. Good. Now take a moment. You can readjust your feet. I'm going to shift forward. Good. From here, I'm going to drop my knees, untucking the toes. Control the shoulders. Elbows are into the body. As you lower down, they go straight back. They don't go to the side. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands a little forward into the side of the shoulders. Good. From here, my legs are about halfway apart. I want to think about a float up versus pressing with all of your might into your hands and your elbows here. So I'm zipping up from pubic bone behind the navel. My shoulders are rolled back. My belly button is in. So I'm going to think about just floating that upper body. Just a little float. I know I'm floating because I can easily let my arms and hands float. And we'll lower that back down. Find length as you lower down here. We'll do that again. Rolling shoulders back, zipping up, float up. Now you can stay here. This time you will press a little bit more into the hands. You can lift a little higher as long as you're not crunching or ears aren't lift or shoulders aren't lifting to the ears. You can come a little bit higher. And then maybe you can lower that back down. Those of you that have full upward facing dog in your practice and would like to go there, you can tuck your toes. Hands might have to slide back a little bit here. And then you can, good, on the tops of the feet or on the toes, find that full upward facing dog. So if this is too much for you, hurts the back, shoulders don't want to stay in good form, you can come on the knees and don't do the up dog yet. And we'll lower that back down. Up dog is a lot of upper body strength. It takes time to get there, but we want to get there through proper muscle training and proper form. So from here, hands can come under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into that plank and shift back to down dog, or follow me through tabletop, then tucking the toes and lifting up, finding your down dog. Good. So find that good down dog form. From that downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Let's take a more traditional sun salute here. So if you are not used to flow, but the flow, the chaturanga, push-up, that sort of thing is not for you, you can always drop to a child's pose, shift back to down dog there. You can work on your plank there, okay? So big inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. Good. Stay here or go somewhere if you're flowing. Remember, elbows are in, don't collapse. Halfway down is all you need. Use your feet to push you up into upward facing dog. And then roll over the toes if you can as you take downward facing dog. Finding your breath. From down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Remember, legs are taking the load here. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. So I'm going to skip this one. Flowing is always optional. From down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain intention. Remember, I have survived every negative experience in my lifetime so far. When I'm going through a rough time, I dig deep into my inner strength and power. Reset those blocks to the side. Okay. Just for easy access here. Going into a new pattern. Inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold. And even come to your blocks here if you want to. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. On this bow, I'm going to grab my blocks. I'm going to bring them in. I'm going to take my right foot back. So I'm coming into a left up runner. Good. Now you could, if you need to, even with blocks, lower that back knee down a little bit, but you want to make sure that knee is behind the hip. See how my knee is behind the hip? You don't want it to be directly under. The reason I don't want that directly under is because we're trying to get that hip flexor and psoas stretch in here, and you don't find it if your knee is directly under. So find what you need here. Lifted knee is going to require a little bit more power. Good. Your front heel is grounded. Knee is over or behind the ankle. I'm rolling my shoulders back. I'm taking my chest a little bit more forward. My front hip's going to come back a little bit. I'm strong through that back heel, but the back heel is not grounded. I'm using my abs to help with that support as well as my breath. From here, when you're ready, we're going to transition. So I'm going to warrior prep my back foot. Good. Heel to arch, or maybe even a little bit wider, but we're 45 degrees this back here. Good. We're going to lift, rise, warrior one. Front hip comes back. Let's open up into a little back bend here. Feels so good. And taking it up. Good. Lengthen, reach. Front hip comes back. Just kind of notice. Good. Bend and come back in. Reach it forward, taking it down. Blocks can come forward. Plant the hand. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Use good form. Use smart form. Okay. From your down dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll back. We're going to take that all to the other side. Now my left foot's going to step back. I'm in that right uprighter now. Remember, heel is grounded, knee is over or behind the ankle. I'm pressing back here. You can have the grounded knee, but the knee is behind the hip. I'm lengthening, taking that sternum forward. Shoulders are back. My belly button is in. My front hip is back just a little bit here. Think more about a squaring off of the hip. Strong through that back leg if you're lifted. Try not to be droopy here. Really press. Make your muscles work. That's how you build your strength and your stability. From here, when you're ready, lifting that back knee, if you had it grounded, we're going to warrior prep the back foot. So hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out about 45 degrees-ish to the left. And you might have a different alignment on this side than the other side, and that's fine. When you're stable, rise, warrior one. Front hip will come back. You should be able to look down and see that front toe. Back edge of the foot is grounded. It's better to have that foot grounded than this front knee bent. So be mindful of where you are. Let's take that back bend here. My front body is zipped up. Strong front enables safer back bend. And we'll reach and we'll lengthen as we take that back down. Reaching blocks forward, planting the hand. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. Find your good downward facing dog. Find that upper body engagement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll off. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath. Mountain intention. All right. Next affirmation. I have not only survived those negative experiences, I have thrived. I have not only survived, I have thrived. Big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. So just a little hip opener here before we move on. So left leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. I'm going to open to the left, strong, even upper body. Careful, try not to let the left shoulder pop up. You want it to be even. You can stay here. You can take a circle. My belly button is still in. And then when you're ready, good, inhale, take that hip back down, lower that foot back down, right leg lifts 3 points, bending that knee, opening up to the right. Watch that right shoulder. You can stay here or you can circle. And then I'm going to take that leg back down. Good. From here, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Excellent work. From here, we are going to go into a different flow pattern. So this will include triangle. So when you're ready, I'm just going to take a block on each side here. They'll be moving from side to side. Good. So from the front, zipping up, big inhale and reach. Exhale and roll forward. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip that flow. Find your good down dog form. If you're following me, staying with me. Left leg's gonna lift 3 point, bending that knee, round. Step or pick up and put the left foot forward between the hands. Use a block if you need to for stability. As you warrior prep that back foot. Hip, knee, and toe are gonna turn out at an angle. Strong, stable. When you're ready, rise, and we'll open up, warrior 2. Good. Good. So front hip's gonna come back hip's gonna come forward. Hip, knee, and toe, track knees over behind the ankle. You should look down and see that toe. Again, back foot is grounded. If not, lengthen that front knee. Speaking of which, you can keep that front knee bent for more challenge, or you can lengthen it as you go back into exhausted. And reach up there. I have not only survived, I have thrived those negative experiences. We all have them. I went through childhood divorce. It lasted years and years. It was very ugly. My mom's death was very ugly. In hindsight, you could say it took her about 10 years to die. That was very negative and traumatic. Inhale, exhale, find your warrior 2. Lengthen that front leg. Going into triangle here. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Root in those feet. This knee is unlocked. So here's an example of a locked knee. Here's a soft knee. Be soft. And reach, and reach, and reach. When you can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin, take a block. You've got 3 heights on that block. Outside of the foot's going to be easier than inside. Choose yours, and we'll open. So remember, spine is long here. This is not a forward fold. This is a hip opener, a twist, balance. And always check your balance by lifting up. Are you in your feet, or are you forcing this arm and the shoulder to do the work that your feet and legs need to do? Okay. Looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, find your warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel that down. Swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll take that to the other side. And it's going to switch sides here. So from my downward facing dog, right leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. I'm going to round, step, or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Use your block for stability as you need to. Warrior prepping. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We'll rise. Warrior 2. Good. So heel to arch, or a little bit wider. Alignment might be a little bit different for you on one side than the other. I'm different on both sides, so find what you need. Front hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. Good. Back of the foot is anchored. Keeping that front knee bent or lengthening it, taking it back, exalted. Reach. Reach. Breathe and expand. What is your inner source of strength and power? What is your inner source of strength and power? And then from here, finding your warrior two, lengthening that front leg, rooting those feet in. Here's triangle. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When you can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin, take a block, take the floor, opening up to the side. Front hip is still back hip is forward. About a stacking of the shoulders. Looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Find your warrior two. Make it your best one on this side. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel that down. Swivel up back foot, plant the hands, front foot steps back. You choose take or skip a flow. Now from here, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knee. Walk, step or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, on back. Inhale, root, engage under eyes. Exhale, hands to heart. Finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. Okay, let's go into a little prasarita. So this one won't have a flow in between here, but this is where we're going to do our balance challenges. So I strongly recommend a block on each side of your mat in case you need it for revolved triangle, half moon, and revolved half moon. So let's come into prasarita first. I'm going to stand wide. So I'm making sure that my big toes are in alignment with each other. The outer edges of my feet are pressing down, so I'm not collapsing into the inner arches. And my feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat. I'm zipping up, arms up. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to hinge forward. Good. And then I'm going to take my hands down. Now, this might be it for some of you. Others might bend the elbows and keep coming. Be mindful of your feet again. Outer edges, put the pressure there, not on the inner arches. Head and neck are going to be free here. Let the knees be a little soft here. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We'll come back up. Little micro bend in the knees. Hands are going to come to the waist. Let the legs take the load, not the back, as you come back up. Make those muscles work. All right. From here, I'm going to take this leg, which happens to be my left leg. I'm going to take it forward. Good. And then I'm going to bring this leg in just a little bit here. Good. And you don't have to be at an angle. You can, be parallel railroad track. We're going to come into half moon here. So I'm actually going to reach down and pick up this block. So my left foot is forward. I've got my block in my left hand. I'm just going to come back here a little bit so I've got a little bit more space. Don't want to knock over my water. Good. So for half moon, different things for different people. Most important, your supporting leg, hip, knee, and toe track forward. We never want to practice any one leg standing balance when we've got a foot coming in here and we're trying to go this way. That will cause you ankle issues, knee issues, hip issues, back issues. And if you already got one of those issues, that's going to make it worse, not better. So if you find yourself doing that, come out, start over. So some people just need to get into the motion and the rhythm and the comfort of moving forward. So maybe this is you and you don't come all the way back. Just getting used to it. Okay. Otherwise, maybe you come down. So your block is going to come forward and to the side of that left foot. Now I'm going to press into my left hip and heel as I open up to the side. Maybe taking my gaze there. Good. So this top hip, knee, and foot are turning to the side. Whoops, a little balance check there. Are turning to the side so they're not towards the floor. This can also be done up against a wall. And I'll show you that version here when we come to the other side. But then when you're ready, good, carefully come back down. And then that foot can come up to meet the front and we'll come back up. Good. You can leave this block here. Good. Step back out again for prasarita. Inhale, I'm going to take my hands to my waist, rolling shoulders back. Exhale, and we'll fold forward. You can keep your hands here. You can bring them down. You choose what works best for your body. My toes are still in alignment. I'm still pressing through the outer edges. I'm keeping my shoulders away from my ears. My belly button is in. So I've survived every negative experience in my lifetime so far. I have not only survived, I have thrived. I know what my deep inner source of inner strength and power is. Good, and then from here, pressing through the legs, and we'll come back up. I tap into that source and inner power and strength when feelings or, different things come up. Okay, so from here, let's take that to the other side. I'm gonna grab that block. Good. So now my right leg is gonna be my supporting leg. My block is gonna be in my right hand. Okay, so again, you choose what you need here. Maybe this is all you do today. Maybe you come forward. I don't recommend coming into these too fast. It's a good way to lose your balance. And coming open. Good. Now, people with a fear of falling, I was at the wall for a long time before I came to the middle of the floor, but same thing. Yeah, so maybe you're up against the wall. I'm up against my mirror and wall here. Good. We'll come, let me scoot back just a little bit. Good. We'll come up. Good. My block comes down. My hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. And now I'm opening up towards that wall. I don't have a fear of falling. I can even look up to the ceiling here. Good. So the foot and everything turning inward comes from a fear of falling, a lack of stability. Train at the wall, build yourself up. Good. Looking down, and we'll take this back. I even teach this in my in-person classes. I have people go to the wall all over the time. There's no worries about it. You do what you need to do. All right, from here, last time in Prosperita, we're going to take this out. Good. Pressing to the outer edges of the feet, hips, knees, and toes come forward. This time, let me turn behind. You can do different things with your hands. So maybe this is where some of you are. Maybe you can clasp, maybe you can come down here, go down here, roll back and lift, maybe grabbing elbows. Some people like to, I don't do this well, as you can see, but you can come to here. Some people can do a reverse one. Everything feels different on the shoulders. So make sure whatever it is that you're choosing what's good for your shoulders. So from here, when you're ready, good. Inhale, exhale, we're gonna fold. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Head and neck are gonna dangle here. Knees are slightly bent here, pressing to the outer edges of the feet here. And when you're ready, inhale, pressing through the feet. Good. Remember that legs take the load and coming back up and relax. All right. Going into revolve triangle and revolve half moon. I'm going to turn back towards my left. My left leg's going to be forward. I'm going to leave that block right there where it is. This back leg here. So maybe this is where you are for a large triangle. You want to bring this foot in just a little bit here. There are two ways you can do this one. You can do it parallel railroad track. So some people's hips do a little bit better with that one. Or your back leg and foot can be at your 45-degree angle. So you choose what you need to do there. Good. But from here, good. My front hip's going to come back. Good. I'm going to zip up. My hands can be right here for right now. I'm rooting my feet in. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to lengthen. I don't want this knee to be locked, but then I'm going to come to my revolved triangle. It's easier if you have a hand or a block on the outside of the foot, on the inside of the foot. And then I'm going to have you open a little bit like you would in regular triangle just to see differences of foot placement. And then we'll take that down. Good. So now my right hand is going to come onto the block on the inside of the foot. That's a little bit easier. Outside is a little bit harder. Find yours. My front hip still comes back as I open. Revolve triangle, I'm rooting into the feet. It is a little bit of a balance challenge. And you might choose to stay here because you like it, or you don't want to do another single balancing on one foot thing. So I'm going to take my left hand. I'm just going to place it right on the back. I'm going to take my block with my right hand. I'm going to bring that block forward of my feet. And then I'm just going to lift. Good. And then I'm going to open again towards my left. Opening up that left shoulder. My supporting leg, the left leg, hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. Belly button is in. Good. I'm going to come back down. Good. Back leg's going to come up to meet the front leg. Okay, great. Let's do that on the other side. So having your block handy, this time your right leg is going to be your supporting leg. So right leg comes forward. Good. Find your parallel railroad track or your warrior press. And this might be even different for you from side to side too. So just kind of notice where you need to be. Good. So from here, we're going to start by taking this block on the inside here first. Front hip comes back hip comes forward. Good. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to lengthen. Good. My right hand can come down onto the block. So again, we're just going to open up a little bit towards the left. There's a small opening, getting a sense on how this feels when you have a shorter stance versus a wider stance. Good. And then we'll come down. Good. So then your block then for revolve triangle, easier on the inside, harder on the outside. Left hand will be on the block or the floor, and we'll open here. Front hip comes back hip comes forward. You can keep the arm up or rest the hand on the back. And then you can choose to stay here or follow me into revolved half moon. So now my left hand is going to grab this block. It's going to come forward. I'm going to put a bend in that right knee. I'm going to lift the left leg. And I'm going to open up towards my left once more. And then when you're ready, we'll come out. Back foot's going to come back forward. And we'll come all the way up. Great work, everybody. Let's make our way down to the floor. Let's do a flow first as we come to the floor. So from the top of the mat, big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. And flowing always works better. If you need to take a moment to reset yourself before you chaturanga, do so. Don't do sloppy ones. Sloppy ones cause rotator cuff issues in the shoulder. Nobody has time for that. And then once you come into your down dog, we're going to drop the knees. Find a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat, somewhere in between. Arms can be long in front of you. They can still be back by the ankles. And then when you're ready, knowing you can stay here as long as you need, we're going to come down onto belly. So as we come down onto the belly, I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here for a moment. And I'm just going to start by taking my left arm somewhere forward. It doesn't matter where it is. I'm going to bend that left knee, or my right knee rather. Good. For some people, this might be it. For some people, just bending the knee is a challenge. And if this is you, you can find a little bit more oomph here. If you think about lengthening from the hip to the knee, good. You can even squeeze that glute, taking that foot up towards the ceiling. Other people are going to take that a step further. So maybe reach back and grabbing foot, ankle, or pant. Pants are always okay to hang on to. Same thing though, you want your knee not to be out here. So you want it to be more in line with the hip. Reach from the hip to the knee. That might be enough. Or squeeze that right hip, taking that right foot to the ceiling, belly button's in, and you can lift. Those of you that are fine with that and want a little bonus, reach your left arm forward, left arm, left leg, come into a hover. And we'll lower that down. Release this foot without slingshotting. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If your body needs you to come into a child's pose, take it. We're going to come into the other side now. So again, you can just bend that knee and finding that length, or reach back and grab. You can stay here. You can reach from hip to knee. You can lift hip, knee up to the ceiling. So you want to engage. If you don't engage and just push the foot into the hand, then it all goes into the back. We're trying not to do that. If you're doing that and that feels okay, right arm forward, you can lift and hover. And we'll release and come down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right. Those of you that are going to do full rocker with me or rocker with a twist can follow me. If you need a break, take one or just do that again, what we just did on both sides. So I'll show you this from a side view and a front view. So side view, I'm going to bend one knee at a time, reaching back there. Good. Grabbing. Good. Knees are going to come in towards midline. And for some people, this is it. Rolling shoulders back. Others, belly button's going to be in. And squeeze the glute, lift the feet, maybe you lift. If you can't control it, maybe you rock. Good. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus for that rock. I'm going to show you what that looks like here from the front side. At the time of this recording, we're in a Wednesday. So if you're having a wacky Wednesday, a freaky Friday, manic Monday, taco Tuesday, whatever day, then you can find maybe a little bonus. So from here, I'm reaching, I'm taking this up. Good. So maybe you take this to one side. Good. And then maybe you use the abs to come back to center. Maybe you roll that on the other side. This takes some practice. This took me a little bit of time to learn. It is core work, but it is fun. And then when you're ready, you can come down, release, wiggle, 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 find a child pose. Ooh. Nice, welcome child pose. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to come right onto our back here. And once you get down there, kind of move any clothing out of the way that's kind of bunched up under the back. Take your feet as wide as your mat, belly button is in, and just get a nice little windshield wiper here. And then when you're ready, we are going to come into a bridge. So you can do freestyle bridge. That's any bridge of your choice that's in your practice. You can bring a block in here if you want to do supported. So I'm going to roll my shoulders back. If you want to do the ankle bind, which is hard for me here, but I can bind my ankles when I'm belly down. It's very similar back bend, but you can do that. You can also bring in a strap here for that. You can clasp the hands underneath or follow me. I'm just going to do a basic. Now that full back bend, if that's in your practice, you can do that too. But hips, knees, and toes are going to track in that alignment no matter where you're going. Press into the feet. Find your bridge now. If you're doing my version, really press the arms and the shoulders into the floor. Makes it just a little bit stronger. You can always rock on the heel, lift the heel, one leg, find what works for you. Lots of options in bridges. And then once you have been in your bridge for a few breaths, based on the bridge that you chose, carefully lower down out of your bridge. Knees are going to come in towards the shoulders, and we'll rock, rock, rock side to side. Maybe taking hands to the knees and making some circles. From here, when you're ready, we're just going to do one little hip opener, and we'll take that into a twist. So for right now, I'm going to keep the left knee bent. I'm going to take my right hand on the outside of the leg. So if you can't reach your foot or your toe, just hold on out here somewhere, anywhere, and support yourself. You can also bring in a strap in here, but belly button's going to be in. I'm just going to let that leg go out to the side. And I'll let it open as it needs to. The other hip stays grounded. When you're ready, I'm going to bring that back in. I'm going to bend that knee. I'm going to lengthen the other leg. Left hand on the outside of the right thigh, right arm out. We're going to twist to the left. Good. So I face my feelings. I sit with them. I learn with them. I grow with them. I sit with my feelings, or I face my feelings. I sit with them, learn from them, grow from them. And when you're ready, we'll come back in. Good. And then we'll switch out. So now this leg's going to come long. It's going to be, you can always take it longer. If you've got a back issue, that might not feel comfortable. And I do this one out of habit anyway. So anything you need to do to make this better, you can. So you can hold on here. You can bring in a strap. You can reach for the foot or the toe. Belly button is in. We'll take that leg out to the side. Ooh. I face my feelings. I sit with them. I learn with them. I grow from them. And when you're ready, we'll bring this back in, extending this leg long, bending this knee. Find your right hand on the outside of that left leg, and we'll twist to the right. I find my strength in love. I find my strength in love. And coming back into center. Good. And we'll settle into Shavasana from here. So you can put a bend in your knees if you've got a back issue and they don't like the legs to be long. You can let everything come long and flop open here. You can use any props of your choosing that you have that you want for your Shavasana time. Good. I'm going to put a bend in my knees here. Good. And then as you settle in, I'll leave you with the final thought. I am strong and so very powerful. I am strong and so very powerful. And taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness or inviting movement of fingers and toes. Choosing stillness or bringing knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or removing any props if you used any during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch. Point and flex those toes, those hands, rolling ankles and wrists in one direction, and then in the other. And then when you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here, and when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Noticing how you feel here. Palms up, reaching up, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Reconnecting with all of those affirmations one more time. We'll take the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you always find the source of your inner strength or power and know that you are strong and so very powerful. Namaste.